Thank you for downloading the TheFlixters podcast. On this week's episode,
if you go online and you just type in Malcolm and Marie age difference, there's this whole shit going on Twitter. I had a brief look on it. It was doing my head in. But people are basically saying that, oh, this is a bit kind of creepy. They're calling it creepy.
Really, it started off really good. I really liked it a lot. Then it got a bit crazy. Then it got a bit shit.
Let's put this in perspective. What does an R-rated mean for this franchise?
Well, for DC, it probably means ridiculous because you never know what you're going to get. But you know what? I thought you told me that you saw Puss in Boots when you went to that club on Tottenham Court Road back in 2005. I'm sure you said you saw Puss in Boots. Was that a different kind of Puss in Boots?
That was a different type of Puss in Boots, Devaldo, yeah.
Hard out there now, man. It's hard out there.
Whoa, Devaldo, we are back again. Oh, man, what a show we have got. You know what, Devaldo, let me just say one thing. You know what we've got in this episode? We've got soul coming through this episode. I hope people just kind of realize this, right? Yeah. The amount of soul that we're putting into these shows, right? So, folks, you're back with us again. Another episode of TheFlixters. We are coming at you with film news, with reviews. We've got some hidden gems. Hopefully we've got some time for some hidden gems. We've got a couple there and we're going to kind of figure out exactly which one we're going to go for. But the big news this week is that we're going to be talking about Soul, the huge big Pixar movie that was released over Christmas, New Year's period, the holiday period. So sit back but before then, Devaldo, our usual, we got shout outs.
Yes, we got quite a few good shout outs today. Mixture of shout outs and also birthdays as well. So, birthdays. First shout out goes out to 19 Kiki D. 19 Kiki D.
Oh, we love saying that. Yeah, 19 Kiki D, we love it, seriously. And we love the fact that you're kind of like messaging us and reaching out to us and listening to the show. So 19 Kiki D, thank you so much.
Yes, she actually shouted us out on Facebook, actually. So, yeah, she's using all the platforms, usually Instagram, Facebook. We've got Twitter, guys. So use all of it. We're not banned like some people. You know, we can use it.
Exactly.
We can use it all.
Trump.
He's a joker.
He's a joker, man, seriously.
Yeah. Next shout out goes out to Emmanuel _LDN, otherwise known as our Emmanuel. Yes. Shout out. He responded to a post. I think it was about the Wonder Woman, I believe, recently on Instagram, and also just the sort of list of movies that we got coming out as well. Not we got coming out, the list of movies that are coming out in the next 6 months. But most importantly, I think as we speak right now, Emmanuel's birthday is probably going to be landing. So his birthday is on the 15th of January. So his birthday is quite big. I mean, obviously, I'm not going to say what age he is. I think he's about 21. But also, it's the same day that One Division comes out. So it's a double whammy. I hope he's got Disney Plus. I hope he's got Disney Plus.
Oh, man. So, Emmanuel, you're gonna have a great birthday. And listen, man, happy birthday. If you listen to us and it's the 15th or if it's before the 15th, regardless, happy birthday. Thanks for everything, and thanks for all the movie news and trivia and everything, and in chatting to us on all the different social medias and things like that. We love it, and we're gonna have you on the show pretty soon.
Yep, definitely. Next shout out goes out to Amelia. So she is a long-time listener from day one, actually, to the show, and it's her birthday as we speak as well. So she's I think 21 as well, looking young, and she loves anything to do with Marvel and not so much DC, but mostly Marvel. Guardians of the Galaxy, her favorite film. I'm pretty sure she'll be watching that on her birthday as well. So big shout out goes out to Amelia.
Huge shout out, yeah. And 15th of January, watch out because One Division's coming.
Yes, she'll be watching that too. Trust me. And next shout out birthday goes out to my one and only Fiona. It's her birthday today.
Oh, boy, man.
Yeah, that's right.
Shit. And Deval, oh my gosh. And you know what? Listen, I feel privileged because, listen, you could be out there celebrating with Fiona, but you're spending your time with me. Oh my gosh.
You know what? I would not want to be anywhere else but here with you. Joking. Well, we're all in lockdown. We're all in lockdown here in the UK, so no one's going out anywhere.
No one's going anywhere. Yeah, no, I know. I feel you.
Fiona is, again, another 21-year-old, looks just like she's 21, not a day over 21. So she's celebrating her birthday with me, unfortunately, in lockdown. And I have to entertain her for the whole day. Yes.
Oh, man. Listen, Fiona, I feel for you. I feel for you. When you've got Deval doing his impersonations and doing his accents and stuff, oh, God, please, God help you. But listen, Fiona, happy birthday. And
Yes.
I haven't spoken to you, but Deval, he's spoken a lot about you. It's really, really great stuff. So, yeah, can't wait to see you. Can't wait to speak to you. And so happy birthday.
Next two shout out go. First one goes out to Othello. Othello shouted us out on Instagram. Othello, I think he speaks either it's Italian or Portuguese.
I think it's Portuguese.
It's Portuguese. Okay, yeah, and he's talking about he's in response to the post that we put out on Instagram, coming to America, and I think he's saying that it may have first been on Netflix, but I don't know. Lots of people are going to hopefully want to see this film. It's going to come out on Amazon actually in March the 5th, Amazon Prime. So looking forward to that one. And Othello sure is too.
Tudo bem.
And then last shout out goes out to dark skin women. Damn. But yes, dark skin women is a channel, a movement, a platform which dark skinned women can be celebrated because, as we know in the past and also in the present, actually, there is a lot of colorism in the world. Sometimes the darker your skin is, obviously, the less opportunities you have and the less you're sort of looked upon. So dark skinned women platform looks to celebrate women of the darker complexion and just celebrate them for the greatness that they are. So this platform has actually helped us as well, and retweeted our Instagram. That sounds so wrong. we Instagrammed. I'm so old school. I don't know what they're called. We Instagrammed our posts and has introduced us to a massive new following. So we want to give a big shout out to dark skinned women.
Huge shout.
I've been following dark skinned women for many years. I lose a lot of time, not in a bad way, but I lose a lot of time looking at their posts and their images and all the products and stuff they've got on there, which is really, really good. So if you want any products and any exposure, go to dark skinned women, definitely.
Oh man, thank you. Huge shout out to dark skinned women. Yeah, so thank you for that, and thanks for those shout outs, Devaldo. Keep on coming in, folks. If you see a post, or a movie that you think, that we've been talking about, please get in touch with us. We love it, absolutely love it when we have this kind of engagement with you guys, and we hope that continues. All right, okay, on to the movie news now. Yeah. Deval, I gotta tell you, man, I know this show is really popular. I know you've seen it. I know kind of like there's some really great things about this show. I did not watch True Flippin' Blood. What gives?
What? You didn't watch True Blood?
I didn't, man. I know,
Bill Compton. Oh, Bill Compton was man.
And not only that, but Rogue.
What's her name? I can't remember her name now. Anna Paquin.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, and they're married. Yeah. They were married, aren't they? Or they were married.
Yeah. And Stephen Moyer. He's actually Welsh in real life. Who plays Bill Compton, the vampire.
Yeah.
Also, we have Alexander Skarsgard in it as well. We have a whole host of good actors, actually. Joe Manganiello was in it. He was like a werewolf. He had vampires, you had werewolves, you had all sorts in this. But this show ran from 2008 to 2014. I watched it all. It aired on HBO and on I think it was FX channel here in the UK. But yeah, about a Sticky Stack House, a barmaid who's in Louisiana. I think they're in Bontemps or places like that. And the vampires are around, and they all kind of get together. They all have sex with each other. They suck the blood. And True Blood is actually because vampires and humans live in the world. They coexist, and there's a thing called True Blood, which the vampires can drink like legally without having to kill humans. So that's what the True Blood is. It's like a product so that they don't have to kill us anymore. So really, it started off really, really good. I really liked it a lot. Then it got a bit crazy. Then it got a bit shit. And then it just got a bit all over the place. And then it ended really kind of madly. But from what the news is that there's a reboot in the works. Sorry, long story short, there's a reboot in the works. And the way it ended, Bill, well, I don't want to spoil it, but yeah, a lot of the characters that started in it obviously died off and left the series or whatever. So they're going to have to do a clean sweep, I think, if they're going to do a reboot. And it's interesting to see. It'd be interesting to see how this pans out. But HBO, that's the place for all that kind of madness. So it's all good.
That's good. Yeah. So hopefully, maybe I can watch the reboot. But we'll see how that goes. Now let's speak about Michael B. Jordan, this great actor. I mean, he's young, he's fresh, he's talented, he's got loads of stuff going for him at the moment, and obviously, being in the Marvel universe, he's Creed. That's like a big franchise for him. And the movie news is Deval, what's he doing with Creed?
Yeah, it's been confirmed. I think we spoke about the rumours quite a while ago, but it's been definitely confirmed now. Creed 3 is going to be happening, and it will be directed now by Michael B. Jordan. So that's a really good, progression there. He's been in part 1, part 2, and he's now going to be directing and starring in part 3. Tessa Thompson's going to return. I should think Sylvester Stallone's going to return. I'm not sure who's going to be writing yet. He probably will team up with Ryan Coogler, who directed the first 2, I believe. No, the first one. Was it the first one? Or I think it was just the first one, I'm not sure about the second one. I'll double check that one. But interesting. Yeah, so the second one was directed by Stephen Capel. This would be interesting to see how this works out. So I got faith in this one. Creed is a really good film. The first one was, I think, probably better than the second one. The second one had the Dolph Lundgren return. I felt sorry for Dolph Lundgren's son because he wasn't too bad.
Exactly.
It wasn't really his fault. But see Michael B. Jordan's transformation physically, the way he trains for this. He didn't. When I first saw Creed 1, he inspired me to work out a lot more because his body is just crazy.
It's crazy. Absolutely. And especially when you look at him, when he was in The Wire, this teenager, and then all of a sudden he's growing up into this chiseled Greek god type body, right? This is what your body transformation can look like, and obviously with a lot of hard work. But yeah, man, Creed 3, we I think we spoke about this before. We said he's looking to kind of get behind the camera, maybe do a bit more producing and get behind kind of stories that he wants to tell. So this is going to be great, man. Can't wait for that one.
It's funny you say that because his name's Adonis in Creed, isn't it? Greek sort of.
There you go, man. Adonis. There you go.
Apollo, isn't it? So the Greek gods, Got to keep it going. Apollo Creed. All right, okay. Now, there's some buzz on the internet regarding this next piece. So, cherry. When was the last time you popped your cherry? Actually, don't answer that question. The Russos. Devaldo, the Russo brothers, obviously those guys, the ones behind the big Endgame and Civil War and obviously Infinity War and Extraction and loads of other stuff. But they are making a movie with Spider-Man, a.k.a. Tom Holland. And tell us about this. Yeah, so this one's quite different. Quite a departure to their sort of, I guess, what we've seen so far. And with Tom Holland as well. Well, I guess maybe the one about the devil was a bit different as well. But
yeah, that was. Yeah,
this one's called Cherry, and it's about a young man who goes off to join the army, but he's got a lot of issues. He goes to join the army thinking that the army can solve his issues and stuff, but he takes those issues with him to the army. But so far, we've seen a short clip, about a minute long, of Tom Holland's character with glasses. And he's having an interview to join the army. He talks about how his girlfriend left him, how he's got a few issues here and there, but he wants to, do right and be a hero for America and stuff like that. So yeah, a bit different, but it looks like an interesting film. It's going to be coming out soon. I think this one's coming to Netflix, I believe. But yeah, interesting. Cherry. So I'm not sure why it's called Cherry, to be honest. Maybe we'll find out once the film is released.
Sounds interesting. And yeah, he looks quite different in it, right?
Yeah.
He does look quite different in that one. Yeah, so great. I mean, I'm looking forward to it because obviously the Russos, they do some great stuff. All right, let's move on to Star Wars news, Devaldo. Kevin Feige, he obviously, the person pulling the strings with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And now there was kind of reports, there was news that he was going to be working on a Star Wars movie. Do you have some information on that? Because it sounds interesting.
Yeah, so basically Kevin Feige is the top dog wherever he walks, wherever he goes. And like you said, he's going to be doing a Star Wars movie. No one knows what the Star Wars movie is going to be about. We don't know if it's going to be like the Old Republic, if it's going to be something more sort of, sort of more recent. We've got no idea, but he has recruited the writer who actually wrote the Loki series, which is going to be released in May. This person also was part of the writing team for Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. And this person is called Michael Waldron, who previously done a lot of writing for, you guessed it, Rick and Morty.
Idea.
Yeah, people had no idea I was going to say that. But yeah, so Marvel, Disney, they have sort of recruited a few of the Rick and Morty sort of animation, science-y, time travel writers onto the sort of movie, sort of live action scene. So yeah, they've got a lot of confidence in this guy. He's worked on 2 projects, and Kevin Feige trusts him to do a Star Wars movie. So maybe that might be a bit of a hint as to what the Star Wars movie might be about, because Loki's going to be about interdimensional, like time travel, multiverse, probably, and then we know Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness is already going to be about that. So maybe Star Wars, maybe Kevin Feige's Star Wars is going to be a madness. Maybe he might be going in time and shit. Who knows?
Wow, man, that's amazing. Well, listen, we know that it's going to be in great hands, and we just need to look at his body of work, all the movies that he's produced and he's been behind. I'm pretty sure he's going to put together a team which is going to bring us a movie which is going to be exciting, which is going to be memorable, and which is going to be fun, which is what I want, right?
That's exactly what we want.
Exactly. All right. Okay. Now let's speak about this news, Devaldo. I really, really want to get your thoughts on this whole thing that's happened. It's pretty strange. It's pretty weird, but the sad fact is that the character Cyborg, we saw him in, Zack Snyder's Justice League, and we had this actor, Ray Fisher, this young guy. And, when I saw that character, I thought, okay, man, this guy, he's going to be in the kind of like the DC extended universe, and we're going to probably see more of him, and maybe he's going to get his own movie, etc. But now the news is flipping out. They've written him out of the next Flash movie. This is bad.
Yeah, he's being written out in a flash.
Oh shit!
So yeah, so there's been beef. I know we've covered it here and there, but it looks like this beef is here to stay, and he's not going to be in the next Flash movie, and we're not totally sure whether it's on if it's him that's said no, I want nothing to do with it, or if it's DC saying they want nothing to do with him. But the whole sort of Justice League, Joss Whedon sort of events it looks like they've carried on into other projects. So it's a bit of a shame, because the Flash movie was supposed to have, obviously apart from the different, Batmans or Batmen, it was supposed to be a bit of a buddy movie with Cyborg as well, because Cyborg's not going to get his own movie. So the Flash movie was where he was supposed to be. So yeah, a bit sad. Yeah, it's like it's almost like that. Warner Brothers is just washing their hands of him.
Exactly, and this is what Ray Fisher had to say on Twitter. This is what he said. He said, "I did not publicly step down from anything. If Warner Brothers has made the decision to remove me from The Flash, rather than address in any way Walter Hamada tampering with the Justice League investigation, that's on them. The idea of removing the role rather than recasting it is only being used to try to avoid public backlash."
Wow.
So there's some shit going on. And you know what? It just smacks of kind of like this whole thing, this whole cancel culture. Like, you say someone tries to speak up and, people will basically, I'm going to cancel that person. I'm going to get rid of that person. I'm going to down their voice. So this kind of sounds like as if that is what's happening. And do you remember when Aquaman, Jason Momoa, he came out on Twitter and he said, "I'm totally behind Ray Fisher." I think Zack Snyder, he came out and he showed his support as well. So there's some shit going on, man, and we're not going to get the full story, obviously, because we're not in the know. But listen, folks, stick with the Flixters, and we will bring you more on this and other great news. All right, talking about other great news, let's speak about the Suicide Squad, or sorry, I should say Suicide Squad. Deval, this is getting an R rating.
Yeah, I'm a little bit. Well, I shouldn't be surprised, because the previous one, I think. Well, no. The previous one started off R-rated, but then it changed to
and then they shit
PG,
themselves.
didn't it?
Yes, yeah. and then they were kind of like, "Oh, we don't know." And then remember, Birds of Prey, was that an R-rated one?
I don't think so. From what I remember. No.
Okay, so what does an R? Okay, let's put this in perspective. What does an R-rated mean for this franchise?
Well, for DC, it probably means ridiculous, because you never know what you're going to get. But you know what? With with our man involved, James Gunn, it should be good. But no, I mean, R rating just means it's going to be like a 15 in the UK, which means that swearing and a bit more bloodshed is allowed. So for that kind of motley crew and what they're about to do, I think it's probably needed. So I'm happy about that. Let it be R rated. Come on now.
Yeah, exactly. Because obviously they're going to take the cues from something like Deadpool, which did amazing money. You know, something like obviously It Chapter 1, which was rated R, I think, as well. And that did the kind of like a huge amount of money as well. So listen, and obviously this guy, the Peacemaker, I think there's going to be some really, really funny, interesting things that they're going to do with that character. And there's a lot of effing and blinding and, you know, all that shit, bad language and like, you know, all that stuff's going to come out of this. So I think it's going to be great, man. So that's really good. Now, let's speak about some other DC news. Now, I want to speak about this, right? So we know that Ben Affleck took over the mantle of Batman from Christian Bale. All right. We know that he appeared in Batman versus Superman. Obviously, he appeared in the Justice League. And then there was this kind of rumor coming out of DC saying that in this Flash new movie, there was going to be an appearance of Michael Keaton and Ben Affleck. But now the rumors are stating that Michael Keaton has signed on to star in a live action version of Batman Beyond. And I guess what they may be trying to go for is a series which doesn't fit in with the main, you know, Batman timeline, if you will. So, a lot of fans, they are losing their shit. They're getting really, really excited about this because to a lot of people, Michael Keaton is the best Batman. I mean, compared to Christian Bale was good. He was really good for me. But Michael Keaton, I do like Michael Keaton as Batman, Deval.
No, I think he was good. He's a good actor, like full stop. So he done Beetlejuice. I mean, come on, how you gonna? He can go from Beetlejuice to Batman to whatever, you know, so he's very versatile actually.
Right. And the thing is, so this Batman Beyond is it was kind of like an animated show and they're making the live action version of it on HBO Max. And Michael Keaton is said to be playing an older version of Batman. And it kind of fits in, doesn't it? Because if they're going to be making a Flashpoint movie and Michael Keaton is going to appear in that one, then that Flashpoint storyline can then feed into this Batman Beyond storyline where they have like a new whole TV show based on that whole thing. So this is kind of like that Flashpoint introducing other stories. So this is interesting, man. So, and the fact that we're going to see Michael Keaton again, hopefully, is good.
Now I'm looking forward to that one, actually. Hopefully they can do it right. Please, come on.
Just do it right, folks. And some other big news. Now, I spoke about Christian Bale. I spoke about him playing Batman. Christopher Nolan was behind those Batman movies. We had Batman Begins, obviously The Dark Knight Rises and The Dark Knight Returns. So 3 movies. Like, you got to obviously watch the whole trilogy. The first and second one are absolutely brilliant. And the third one kind of, for me, was really, really long in some places and some bits kind of fall down a little bit. But overall, trilogy is great. Now, the rumor is, now take this with a bit of salt, I hope this comes out true, but Christopher Nolan could be coming back to direct more Batman movies. What?
No, come on. Seriously.
This is mad.
No.
So a couple of sources have been saying that Warner Brothers plan to lure Nolan back into the world of making Batman movies. And I mean, does it sound like this is something that he would do?
I thought he was done with it. I mean,
Me
he's
too.
done, you know, 3, altogether solid movies. Obviously, first and second best, third, but whatever. But I think, I think he should. I don't think he should come back. I think he should be just done with it. I don't think so. But if he comes back, I mean, I'm sure he'll do a good job.
Yeah, but what could he bring to it? What he didn't bring to those 3 movies? I don't know. Yeah. So and who is it going to be? Is it going to be the Robert Pattinson that we're going to get to see as Batman? Is it going to be?
Because that Batman looks to be a bit more grounded. And not like the Justice League version where, you know, people are flying around and stuff. He doesn't like that. He likes a bit more grounded situations, you know?
Absolutely.
So live effects and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, Matt, we love that. Well, if it happens, it happens, and we'll obviously bring the news on that. So now this next piece of news is courtesy of Birthday Boy, Emmanuel. So tell us about this next piece, Deval.
Yeah, so Lee Whannell, who has brought us like Saw and brought us... Upgrade. You've seen Upgrade, isn't it? Where the guy gets that chip put inside him and he can do all kinds of Matrix shit.
It's good. I liked it.
He's been around. Yeah, really good film. He's been around horror and other films for years. He was actually in Saw 1, the guy that was in the room. But yeah, he also last year directed Invisible Man,
Yeah.
The Invisible Man, which done really, really well. I think the budget was 8 million. It done over like 120 million in the box office. And he is now, along with Blumhouse, going to bring us Wolf, or the Wolf Man.
Whoa.
So Werewolf, or whatever it's going to be called. But yeah, this looks like it should be decent. If it's gonna be the same person, same sort of, well, I guess a bit of an increased budget, I think it's in good hands. They're gonna reinvigorate this whole new sort of universal monster franchise with
They
the
should.
Wolfman, Invisible Man, Frankenstein, all those monsters are going to be coming back soon.
I love them.
So,
I love that
be
Wolfman story. It goes back to kind of like based on like a novel from the 1800s and everything. And you know what? I've got a soft spot. I've got a hairy spot for the one that was made. I think it was back in 2014 or 2015 or something. Emily Blunt, Benicio del Toro. He played the Wolfman. It had. I can't remember what the other guy's name is. I thought that was decent. It did shit at the box office, but if this guy Lionel can bring his magic from Invisible Man to it, then it's going to be great. So looking forward to that monster movie. Now on to other monster news. Marvel has halted production apparently of Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness because, Devaldo, obviously the UK is getting battered by coronavirus. And I know over the last year, we've kind of, we've mentioned about coronavirus and we've said, look, this has halted this production and it's, so many movies have been delayed obviously because of coronavirus. But so Doctor Strange was being filmed in the UK. Obviously there's some sort of tax break. And I know you've mentioned this before on the show before. Filming in the UK, gives US production companies some tax incentives. But yeah, so it's pretty bad with the whole coronavirus situation in the UK, right? And obviously this got delayed.
Yeah, I'm a bit gutted about that, but I do understand because yeah, it is a lockdown here at the moment, so only certain industries and jobs and stuff can continue. Which I'm surprised that the movie one can't, because I'm sure they will have professional testing and bubbles, and it's quite safe. So maybe they're just taking a precaution because they can't guarantee everyone's going to be safe on set. So maybe it's just a precaution until they get themselves in order. But yeah, not surprised about that. I hope that doesn't really. Well, I hope it doesn't delay the the release date for this one. I hope.
Yeah. Well, listen, Elizabeth Olsen, she was being interviewed just recently, a couple of days ago on Jimmy Kimmel Live, and he asked her, like, what's going on and everything. She was doing some promotion for WandaVision, obviously. And she basically said, look, she said, I'm just safely hanging out here in the UK. She mentioned something about, the hospitals being overwhelmed and stuff. And she just said that she's really grateful to be working. So, yeah, so it's sad. She's there somewhere in the UK somewhere, and probably just waiting for production to kickstart again.
Yeah. Interesting
news. All right, okay, this next one.
What's it about RDJ? What is going on with him? I thought he earned like 50 million a movie or whatever. Isn't he just going to retire and just go to his wine vineyard in Napa? Like, what does he want now?
What's this guy doing? Listen, so take this with a pinch of salt, with a probably huge pinch of salt, actually. So apparently, the rumor mills are going abuzz with this one. So apparently, Robert Downey Jr. is being roped into playing being part of the cast of a Star Wars project. And if rumors are to be believed, they're talking about the Mandalorian. Robert Downey Jr. turning up in the Mandalorian. I mean, how the hell would that work out? And would he even want to do something like that? But let me just kind of read the blurb over here. It says, a new report is claiming that former Iron Man will be taking a trip to the galaxy far, far away by appearing in the Disney Plus streaming service, The Mandalorian. But I mean, I don't know, does that make sense? What the hell is he going to do on The Mandalorian?
It has to be like a cameo kind of role. I couldn't see him being like a baddie, perhaps, maybe, I don't know, but yeah, I don't know. It has to be like a cameo, I reckon. Some sort of cameo. Or maybe, do you know what? Yeah, no, do you know what? It can happen easily. He can be a robot.
Mm-hmm.
He can be one of those kind of K2SO kind of robots and be fast, witty, talking, because Taika Waititi does the robot voice, and he was a bit witty. he could be a robot too.
True,
Yeah, I think
that's
so.
absolutely true. Yeah, we don't need to see his actual face. He could do the voice of one of these
Exactly.
robots. Not bad. You know what, guys? Disney Plus, get DeVal. Just get him to do your stuff and casting and whatnot, man. This guy's great. All right, okay. And finally, I just want to put this out there. Dexter is coming back. I don't know when it's coming, but it's definitely going to be hitting our screens at some point. Hopefully, at the end of this year, maybe even next year. But they have already cast the villain. And I remember when I was big into Dexter, and every year they would announce, who's going to be the villain. They had John Lithgow as the villain. They had Tom Hanks' son. He played the villain one time. And for this new reboot, or this kind of, this coming back of Dexter, they've hired Clancy Brown. Now, Devado, who's Clancy Brown?
Yeah, I've seen this guy before. I can't remember what I've seen him in actually, but was he the one in? He was in what's that film called again? Well, he was in Shawshank Redemption.
That's it, Shawshank Redemption.
He was one of the sort of I don't know what the screws, police, prison officers, or
he's
something
one
like
of the
that.
prison officers. He's got this kind of like, he's a really kind of like big guy, and he's got this commanding kind of face, these really like piercing eyes and everything. He turned up in The Flash. He played kind of like one of the villains over there as well, General Wade Eiling.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and but I will forever know him as the Kurgan from Highlander, which is a movie from 1986, and he played the villain in that one. So this guy, Clancy Brown, he's going to be playing the villain in the new Dexter show, which we're going to see at some point, which I can't wait, because this guy he's a villain. This guy, he loves playing villains. He's really good at playing villains. And I think it's going to be great to see Dexter again.
You know what? He was also in, just found this out by the way, but he was also Surtur in Garden in Ragnarok, Thor Ragnarok. The big kind of creature, the kind of fire creature.
Is it
the one that needed that Thor was hanging on the rope with, talking at the beginning.
Yeah.
At the end, Surtur causes Ragnarok by destroying.
That is him. Oh shit.
Yeah. And he's been in a lot of like Star Wars Rebels. He was in animation for that. He was actually in Mandalorian. I'm not sure what character it was, but he was in Mandalorian, a character called Berg. I can't really remember that. He's done a lot of animation, a lot of voiceovers, but I think mostly sort of baddie kind of characters. So
yeah, absolutely.
Been around the block.
He has been. So so look forward to that one, folks. That's going to be Dexter. And when we hear more news on that, we'll definitely let you know. All right, okay, let's move on to the watch list, the box set watch list, about what you got cooking for us.
Yeah, I'll quickly talk through this box set watch list. As we know, guys, in many places around the world, it's lockdown or some sort of restriction. So a lot of people are being forced to, watch your box sets at home. No cinemas are open. So here in the UK on BBC, but also I think you can get it on Netflix in some countries, the Valhalla Murders. Now, if you don't know, I do love my sort of, crime shows. I like to call it, give it a nice word, crime shows, but really it's about serial killers and all that shit. I love all that shit. But the Valhalla...
That's not the first time that you said that. I love it when you say, I love that shit.
It's the psychology behind it. I like to know why these people do it, the method. It's all quite interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Valhalla Murders is set in Iceland, actually. Iceland, you know what? Iceland is exactly what it says on a tin. It's full of ice, yeah? It's just a snowy place that's full of ice and it's cold. That's all you see in this series.
Oh.
And it's a story about these cops that are trying to hunt down this killer who is killing people and cutting out their eyes. And they realize that the killings are linked. I'm not going to spoil it totally, but the killings are linked and they realize it. They try and put the pieces together. But this killer is really clever, really, really clever. They've hardly got any clues, but obviously over time they get some clues and stuff. And the person that it eventually is the last person you'd expect it to be. And then you realize why the person is so clever, because they've got a lot of information and they know a lot about what the police are doing. So it's a really good series. And the lead female detective, she kicks ass, and she was meant to get a promotion. And she didn't get a promotion. They brought someone else in. It pissed her off, but she's been in the department for like 10 years. So there's a bit of friction there with her boss. And then there's a male detective that they fly in from Norway because they need extra help. He's a bit of a weird character, but he's really good at his job. So there's a bit of a, there's a bit of a dynamic between them two. But yeah, really good series. It's quite somber. The music is very. You can imagine being in a place like Iceland. It's very, very eerie, and it's very like desolate.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, and it's just a bit mad, but it's okay. It's not the greatest show, but I did enjoy it. So that's the Valhalla Murders. The next thing, yeah, no, it's good. Give it a watch if you like. Honestly. The next one I'll talk about quickly is called The Serpent. And you mentioned The Serpent last week.
Yeah. I'm on episode, I've seen the first 2 episodes now. So I need to start watching episode number 3. But yeah, go on, tell us about this.
Yeah. This is on BBC here in the UK. I'm not sure where you got it internationally, but The Serpent is a true life story, actually, about a man that commits, he's a fraudster, but he's a suave, he's a sophisticated, he doesn't actually speak a lot.
No.
He is very subdued, but he speaks and he does just enough to, get by and to get people on board. He's very, very clever, very intelligent, and he dresses well. He's just one of those people that you somehow want to trust, because of the way he comes across and the way he communicates. He looks wealthy, so you think he's not going to take anything from you. But yeah, he's a real life.
He's a killer.
Thief.
This guy.
Yeah, he seduces people. He's got disguises. He murders people. He takes their ID and he assumes their ID. This was based back in the 70s when obviously security wasn't what it is now. Passport, DNA, all of that. So this is based in and around sort of Thailand and Asia mostly. And even the lady that he rolls around with, that he calls his wife. Yeah, she was. Everyone that he gets is vulnerable in some kind of way. He's good at identifying vulnerable people. So his girlfriend was vulnerable. She was in a relationship she wasn't happy about. She wanted to be loved and cared for and all that. And he offered that. He found someone else who wanted to belong, and he got this person to go and do his dirty work. He preys on people that are backpackers and are going for like a holiday, and hippies, and want to just chill out and all that kind of stuff. So he preys on people that are, vulnerable. So he literally murdered, stole, killed. He used to drug people to actually get them to
a
vulnerable state where he can do what he wants with them and steal from them. But yeah, mad true life story. I'm not going to spoil it totally because I think it's worth watching. But this guy, he's also very arrogant. That's what actually is his downfall.
Yes.
Very arrogant.
Yep, absolutely. And you mentioned Valhalla Murders about being cold. This guy's ice cold, man. When you see him, he just doesn't give a shit. He's just very, very calculating, and you got to watch it. Basically, it's just like I said before. I've seen the first 2 episodes, and I'm into it enough that I want to find out what happens to this geezer and what happens to kind of like all the other characters, because there's this kind of thing where it flips back and forth between the time frames, and it's really interesting. So go check it out if you can. Yeah,
definitely. Yeah, and then the last one is Marvel Legends, which quickly I'll just mention that was released on Disney Plus just a few days ago. The first 2 episodes are detailing Wanda Maximoff and Vision, because they've got the show coming out any minute now, and it's about 7 minutes long each episode, and it just sort of gives you an account or a highlight or a recap of the character's journey in the MCU. So it's all footage from movies, basically, like a highlights reel of these characters. So it's nothing new, but just a reminder of who they are just before you watch these shows, because I think they realize not everyone has watched all these shows, and it's been a while since you've seen a Marvel film, so a bit of a recap for you.
Right, okay, so folks, go check those out and let us know what you think. If you do watch them, get in touch with us, obviously on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook, on whatever. Just reach out to us and we can kind of chat to you about it. Now, new on streaming, well, actually some trailers actually. This one, Devaldo, this is great. I'm really looking forward to this. We spoke about it a couple of episodes ago, Outside the Wire. It's a new Netflix movie starring Anthony Mackie, and I just realized this when I kind of like double checked it. British actor Damson Idris, and remember we saw him. Remember we saw him in Farming.
Yeah, he was in Farming, and he was also in Snowfall, which is a really, really good TV show. But yeah, he's really good, and it was in the new Twilight Zone. He's been in Black Mirror, really good. Yeah.
Yeah, so this is great. And again, like it's this sci-fi. I don't know if Anthony Mackie, if is he a cyborg or what is he, or he's got like when you see the trailer and everything, you notice that this guy's got like some special armor or he's doing something, and they go in, he teams up with this rookie played by Damson Idris, and they got to go in and they basically got to clear shit up. And you know what? When you've got a super soldier with you. I mean, you know, shit's going to go down, right?
Yeah, he's enhanced with some biotech.
Wow.
I'm enhanced with some biotech. Yeah.
And when's that coming out?
This is out on the, what date is it? I think it's the 15th. Yeah, 15th again. So, Emmanuel, on your birthday.
Wow. Man, you've got a couple of things to watch there.
So that one looks decent. And then next one we got is Malcolm and Marie on Netflix. Malcolm and Marie is, do you know what? This looks like a really interesting film, you know? Yeah.
And it looks like controversial at the moment.
Oh, why? Why is it controversial?
People are kicking a stink because Zendaya, because what people are focusing in on is the age difference between Zendaya and David Washington. And yeah, people are like, if you go online and you just type in Malcolm and Marie age difference, there's this whole shit going on Twitter. I had a brief look on it. It was doing my head in. But people are basically saying that, this is a bit kind of creepy. They're calling it creepy.
Is it?
Yeah.
How old is she? Let me see how old she is. 1996.
She's 24 years old.
She seems to be, okay, yeah, she's 24. Yeah, she's 24 right now. She's quite young. I didn't realize she was that young.
And he's 36.
Okay, so that's 24. That's 8. No, that's 6. That's 12 years difference.
I mean...
Okay, 12 years. I mean, you know what? It's no comment on that one. No comment. But you know, it kind of isn't, I think it's probably at the lower end of the acceptable kind of, you know, because she's an adult.
Yeah.
She's an adult. She's not below 20 and she's past 21, you know, and she's 25 as well. Because in America, in some states, you got to be, like, even when you're 25, you can't do 24. Sorry, you can't do certain things. Oh, she's 24. Sorry, yeah, she'll be 25 soon. But I think, yeah, I can see where people are going, but I don't think it's a massive thing because, yeah, it's still, they're adults. They're both adults, you know. And it's a movie. It's not like it's real life. But yeah, do you know what? This movie looks really interesting. It's black and white. It's like a proper character study on two people, on their relationship and the tests between their relationship when they're at home. The film, it's got a really small cast. Guess how much people on the film?
2.
Yes, exactly. You knew it. Only 2 people are in this film.
That's
when
mad.
was the last time you saw a film? Even The Lighthouse with what's his name? Willem Dafoe and Kristen Pattinson.
Yeah.
Pattinson and Dafoe. Even that, even though it was mostly 2 people, there were a couple of others that, you know, sort of, you know, voices or whatever. But this is totally 100% 2 people. So this is going to be like watching a theater in your own home with 2 people performing in your living room. Yeah. And it looks interesting. It looks like a lot of emotions. It looks like it probably took a lot out of them to film this, and they probably needed a holiday after this, I would think. But I'm looking forward to this. Is out on Netflix on the 5th of February, so not too long. Not
too long. It's good. And even now, you can just go online and you can see some of the comments, and people are saying, I'm concerned about the age difference. It's just like, oh my gosh, people, like,
no,
you know, it really does affect people.
Exaggerating. Not
exactly.
Too bad. And they say it's not a love story. It's a story about love.
Ah.
Uh-huh.
Profound.
Mm-hmm.
Profound, Mr. Duval. Folks, there you have it. Profundo. Yeah. You know what, man? You know a lot of Spanish. This guy, he's just plucking them out, man. Seriously. Any Spanish speakers out there listening, this Duval, you seriously, man, he keeps you on your toes. All right, okay, so those are the streaming, those are the trailer stuff. Go check those out. And again, obviously, get in touch with us. Let us know what you think about this whole Zendaya and Washington age difference thing. Is it a big thing for you? Are you going to watch it? Are you not going to watch it because of that? It'd be interesting to find out. Okay, Anniversary Corner. So if you haven't listened to one of our podcasts before, this is the moment where we bring you a selection of movies, 5 movies, and they go back from 30 years, 25, 20, 15, and 10 years. So, an eclectic bunch of movies. We kind of sometimes have a theme, sometimes we don't, and they fit in with our main movie review. But this week, we've gone for a great bunch of films in there. So from 10 years ago, 2011, Puss in Boots. And listen, man, I'm not an animation person, right? So Devaldo, let me just tell you this. I'll put this out there. I'm not an animation person, but
yeah, me too.
Obviously, because I've brought into this world 2 human beings, and there's kind of the movies that I love watching, I can't obviously show them. So I've got to kind of broaden my horizon a bit. And obviously this is where animation comes in. And I've started to watch a lot more animated movies. And I remember watching Puss in Boots a year ago. And you know what? I remember I chuckled, I chortled, I kind of guffawed a couple of times during this. You know what? It's Antonio Banderas, it's Salma Hayek, I think it is. Remind me again.
Yeah, Salma Hayek. Oh my God.
Oh man, she's great.
Damn, Salma. Great. But I thought you told me that you saw Puss in Boots when you went to that club on Tottenham Court Road back in 2005. I'm sure you saw Puss in Boots. Was that a different kind of Puss in Boots?
That was a different type of Puss in Boots, Devaldo. We can speak about that afterwards. I'll tell you exactly.
Okay,
I'll tell you about that later. Cut that out. But yeah, so look, Puss in Boots from 2011, Devaldo. I mean, it's got Antonio Banderas, Salma Hayek, Zach
Galifianakis, and they make you feel good, like Billy Bob Thornton.
Amy Sedaris, I can't remember who she is, but so this is
Guillermo del Toro is in it as well, Mustache Man. Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh! So this is kind of Puss in Boots, the character from Shrek. He did enough to get a spin-off.
Yep, and we'll talk about Shrek a bit later as well. But yeah, all these are in link with our main movie today, which is animation. So all these are going to be animation. But yeah, I haven't seen this one, but I can imagine Antonio Banderas, he's got character.
Man.
So
he has, man.
It right. Yeah, he's good.
It's really good. The way his voice acting is absolutely brilliant. The next one, 15 years ago, and again, I've seen this over the last couple of years. This is Cars, and there was a Cars 2, Cars 3, and there's this whole kind of Lightning McQueen, I think they make these movies, and then what happens is the toys, oh my gosh, man, they make just as much with the toys, Deval. Do you know that?
Yeah, they do. This one's 2006, so that's 15 years ago, guys. Time is ticking. And this one's got an all-star cast. He's even got Jeremy Clarkson, who was very, very, very famous in the UK, I guess internationally, for doing Top Gear, which is all about cars. So there's the link there. Michael Keaton shows up in this one. But the star cast is the star is Owen Wilson, who's, like I said, Lightning McQueen. And he's the main star in this one. But yeah, this one is all about cars, like you say. And I've never seen it, to be honest, but I heard it's not bad.
Yeah, it's all right. It's fine. The little one, he kind of was. He had a phase where he was into it, but not anymore, which is great. Next one, Shrek. 20 years ago, we kind of mentioned it before, but check the cast on this one: Mike Myers, Eddie Murphy, Cameron Diaz, Antonio Banderas, John Lithgow, Vincent Cassel, French actor.
Vincent Cassel, he's a gangster.
Man, I tell you what,
he's a gangster.
He's great. He's absolutely great. And yeah, it's Shrek. It's a DreamWorks, and I think there was this kind of a whole competition thing maybe going on between Pixar and DreamWorks and stuff. And this was a big money maker for DreamWorks, man. I think how much did this make? It must have made a shitload of money.
A lot of money.
485 million at the box office, folks, on a budget of 60 million. If you haven't seen it,
years ago. Oh my gosh! On a budget of 60, did you say?
On a budget of 60 mil. What else we got next?
That is gangster. Next, we've got from 25 years ago, Aladdin and the King of Thieves. So yeah, Aladdin and the King of Thieves.
I've not seen this one.
I have not seen this one as well, but I saw the first one, the first Aladdin, obviously. I think everyone's seen that one. But the the King of Thieves one. I'm like, what's this about? Well, what's the King of Thieves? I mean, is it like, did they have to do this one? I mean, did they have to? Probably not. But this 1996. Do you know what it is? Because a lot of times, they do quite well. Yeah. And then they realize, okay, do you know what? Money came in. We like money. So let's do another one.
Exactly.
And that's what they did. So this one, 1996, actually has got Robin Williams in it. He's in it. As the genie, so
because
he returns.
He played the genie in the later film version, didn't he, or in the animation thing?
In the animation one, what you mean? Oh, which one's this? The recent one?
Remember, he played the genie in one of the Aladdin cartoons.
Oh yeah, the first one. The first one. Yeah, the first one. I can show you the world.
Yeah.
What did I say again? Close your eyes. No, how's it go again? Oh man!
You know what's funny is you haven't seen them yet. You know the songs.
I know. She said something about close your eyes, and then I can't remember now. It's gonna bug me. You know what? Later on, I'm gonna spit it out just like that randomly.
But listen, that whole thing about what you said about them making that's what they've done. Disney basically rebooting all their old titles, right? So that's why we saw Will Smith. He came back in Aladdin and and all this sort of stuff. So this is it. And from 30 years ago, folks, Beauty and the Beast. And
yes,
exactly what we said. 2016, they did the live action version of this, but this is the animation, which was a huge hit for Disney.
A massive, massive hit. I mean, this one kind of explains us in our relationships, isn't it?
Exactly. I mean... But let the audience members decide who's the beauty and who's the beast, please, Deval. This is mad. This is 1991.
Crazy.
Do you remember this?
1991. Yeah, a long time ago. That's what's his name? Monkey Magic, isn't it? That song.
Tripitaka. Oh man, that was wicked.
Pigsy. Oh
Pigsy.
My gosh.
Oh, Pigsy.
One day we got to do a show of the old school classic,
80s classic
TV shows. Yeah, one day we got to do that. But yeah, this one, 1991, Beauty and the Beast. Obviously, a prince is cursed to spend his days as a hideous monster, and the curse has to be lifted by the woman that he loves, and she falls in love with him, and they get together and have a bit of bestiality, because you do, as you do. No one talks about that.
The animals come out.
No one talks about these love stories that are just a bit like, what's going on?
The people making them, I'm telling you, the people making them are horny, man. I bet you that's what it is.
Mm-hmm. WandaVision, she's a fully grown human, He's an android. He's only been out for 5 years, and he's 5 years old, literally a 5-year-old android, and they're bonking it off. Come on now. So this one, 1991, Beauty and the Beast. This one, the animation is all old school, drawn and stuff like that. So a nice one, guys. So go and watch this one if you want a bit of nostalgia.
Exactly. Bit of trivia. It won the Academy Award for Best Music Original Score back in 1991, folks. So if you love your music, musicals as well, obviously, go check it out. All right, okay. Now, we've alluded to this and we mentioned it at the start of the show. We've got a film review, and that film is Soul, which is a Disney Plus movie, and I'm pretty sure if this movie is, if obviously we didn't have the pandemic and everything, this would have been a huge hit for Disney, at the cinema.
Yeah, you're right. You're spot on. Yeah.
Absolutely. But obviously, because of the shit that went down last year, Disney just thought, listen, we're not going to make that money because people aren't going to cinemas. Just let's release it on the Disney Plus service. And I ended up watching it. I ended up watching this movie twice. And I'll tell you the reason why. The first time we watched the movie on Christmas Day, I think it was, I put it on late at night, and then what happened was the kids, they fell asleep, and then I ended up watching it. But then obviously the next day they were like, no, we want to watch it. So then I had to watch it again. And I enjoyed it second time around just as much, to be honest with you. It's a great story, great cast, led by Jamie Foxx. The one question that I have, Deval, is do you reckon he was playing the piano in the movie?
You know what? I wouldn't be surprised because he can't he? He's quite a good musician. He sings and he plays
Yes.
piano and he can even do comedy as well. He's like a multi-talented performer.
Absolutely. So, one of the questions of the movie is: have you ever wondered, where your passion has come from? And I'll be honest with you, Devaldo. There were moments in the movie where I was like, "Shit, man!" I was just like, "Yeah, where does that spark come from?" Like,
Yeah, it's a bit
when you're a
depressing, isn't it?
kid.
You're like, shit, I've wasted my whole life. What's going on?
What's going on? Absolutely. That is the beauty of these Pixar movies, man. They make you think. There's some deep questioning. And sometimes I think they're not even made for kids. They're made for bloody adults. Do you know that? And there are so
Yeah.
many themes, in this movie, which I thought to myself, you know what, my little one won't get that, and this is maybe for the parents to kind of like watch and kind of figure out. But listen, the story is Jamie Foxx. He plays Joe Gardner, and he's a music teacher, and he's a jazz teacher, he's a jazz player, and according to jazz music for him is everything. Whenever he wakes up, he thinks about jazz, and jazz has basically been a part of his life from the moment his dad took him to kind of like a jazz bar, when he was a little kid. The only issue is he hasn't really done much with his jazz and, with his life. And, there's a moment in the movie where he gets given this opportunity. It's the most amazing, fantastic opportunity for Joe Gardner. And he's super, super excited. And you know what? He's just cannot wait to basically let everyone know. For him, it's his moment. It's his, his reason for living. Lo and behold, he gets himself into an accident, and then from that point onwards, the story unfolds, and it unfolds in this way which is like not the afterlife, but a kind of like a place which is the in between the afterlife. Would you agree with that, Deval?
Yeah, it's like the limbo.
Yes.
The limbo, the calypso, the bit where you're kind of like waiting in line to find out, which way am I going? Am I going to that place or this place? And I think in our time, that's a split second. But in their time, it's like an eternity almost.
Yeah. So Joe, he's stuck in this kind of like limbo place, and he kind of like, he's like, I'm not ready to go. This isn't my time to go. I've got this amazing thing that's going to be happening in the real world. And he does everything he possibly can to obviously not go into the other place. And the movie is about him kind of managing, his life, looking at his life, reflecting on the things that he did in his life. And it's sad, it's funny, it's heartfelt, it's obviously deep. There's moments where it's deep, and the music plays kind of like a really, really major part in this whole thing as well, because, he's a jazz player and it's called soul, and it kind of, the music tugs, well, for me anyway, it was tugging at my kind of heartstrings as well in so many different places. But I was impressed with it, Devaldo. I love the acting. The voice acting is great in it. It's got Tina Fey in it as well. It's got a British actor, Richard Ayoade, is in it as well. And there's kind of like, little funny bits in there. But the movie takes you on this journey and to kind of figure out, like, what is your passion? What is it that gets you up, in the morning? And how do you find that spark? Yeah, I mean, what did you think?
When you sit and think about it, it does make you sort of look at your life and your own journey a bit closer, which I didn't expect from a cartoon, a Disney animation, I didn't expect it.
A cartoon.
Great Graham Norton, a cartoon, so yeah, cartoon. Graham Norton shows up in it. Alice Braga shows up in it, and also from Cosby Show, Felicia Rashad shows up. Angela Bassett, oh my gosh, Queen of Wakanda herself, she shows up. So big stars in this. But yeah, you're right. It's decent. I don't really watch animations, and this one, because of the big questions they ask, I think this one can land for both youngsters and for adults. There's a perfect family movie, and I think for parents, perhaps it might make them think a bit more about making sure that their children are thinking about their future and stuff like that, which is is really good to do as early as possible. If a child can realize their passion from an earlier age, they'll never work a day in their life. So it's something that I think can be an actual learning tool for young kids and parents, really. So it's actually a positive message. And something else came out of this as well. You know, the actual soul part of it. You know how the souls are all like there's these like, you know, they're blue, aren't they? Like they're kind of glowing. Like 22, she doesn't really have any. I don't know. A lot of them don't have any shape. Some of them that are in the soul world, the soul stone, they don't have any. They're like these little blobs, and then when they come down to Earth, then they assume, you know, a life form or whatever it might be.
Yeah.
But some people are saying that this is like a bit of an Easter egg because these souls are also the reason why in films like Cars, in films like, you know, Nemo and all that, they're saying that, you know, these souls are in those things. That's why we get talking cars. That's why we get talking animals. Because in this film, the cat talks, and only he can hear the cat talking, but no one else can hear the cat. But, you know, in all these other Disney films where everyone's talking, people are saying that they do have a soul because the souls are they've gone to this place and come down, and they've been born as these animals and cars, and these things are real. It's just that we don't have the ability to hear them. So there's a bigger question there that they're saying that there's an Easter egg in this whole Disney Pixar world that, you know, all these life forms exist. So ask yourself there, you know, when you see next time you see a talking car or a talking, you know, donkey or whatever, you know, you know, give it the respect it deserves.
Oh my gosh, yeah, no, I never really thought about that. That's a really interesting point. Wow, you know, I echo exactly what Deval said, like, you know, it's deep and it's profound and everything. Disney, they spent 150 million on this.
Ooh.
They're only getting, so far, according to Wikipedia, 32 million back in the box office. Is this like, what does it mean in terms of their investment?
Damn, it means that they're looking to recoup in subscriptions, perhaps Disney Plus, or damn, I mean, they're looking to just get the film seen, I guess. I mean, they're not going to get it any other way, really. Maybe they'll sell it to different, you know, networks and stuff like that, make some money on that side, and obviously DVD sales and stuff like that. But yeah, it's hard out there now, man. It's hard out there.
All right, okay. Listen, Deval, it's been great talking. Listen, I'm having a soul to soul with you.
Soul to soul. Oh, back to life, isn't it?
Soul to soul. Who they were. Back to life. We totally messed up.
Next week as well, I'm going to talk about Songbird. I'm going to rip the shit out of that film. I wasted an hour and 20 minutes of my life. Yeah, I'm going to cuss it next week.
I can't wait. All right, okay, listen, look, folks, we're going to bring you some more movie news, some more hidden gems, some, well, actually, no, not more, because we didn't do hidden gems. We're going to be some more reviews. That's what we're going to do. We're going to be more movie news, more reviews, and more banter, more jokes, and we want you to join in with us. So, like I said before, get in touch with us, you know, on the Instagram, on the Twitter, on the Facebook, whatever you want to do, get in touch with us, and we will, we'll love you more for it. So, listen, that's enough from me. See you later.
Peace out, guys. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Just pop in the Flixters podcast.